Well, good morning, folks. Before anybody starts building the fire to burn me at the stake, yes, this is a digital camera. You see aloft the tripod. It's sort of precariously balanced at the moment because I've got a Peak Design clip on the bottom. I forgot to bring the Allen key, and so I can't swap the plate over for my Manfrotto base plate, which is somewhere in here. This one, so I can't swap it over, so it's at the moment very sort of precariously balanced, so I'm hoping that on its first outing I don't end up breaking it. Why have I got a digital camera on my tripod and not a film camera? The reason for that is if you watched my earlier video from sort of the new year and the goals for the new year, one of them I said that I was going to get a digital camera. The reasons for the digital camera was mainly to improve my video quality and come away from shooting on my iPhone, which I'm actually shooting on today because obviously the camera's sat here. So I was looking for a hybrid sort of system. I wanted it more video related than photography, but I also wanted to be able to take good images, good digital images when I just want to come out of a digital camera, which, like I said before, I do, and it does happen. So I ummed and ahed, I went backwards and forwards. I looked at lots of different cameras. I looked at a Sigma FPL because of its 60 megapixel sensor. I looked at the Fuji X-H2, and I nearly bought that. I was that close to buying it. I had this camera and that in the same hand in the shop, and I was thinking, oh God, what do I go for? But I actually ended up going for my initial sort of what I thought originally I was going to get as soon as I saw they were releasing a new one, which is the Lumix S5ii. It's got great reviews, and it's a 24 megapixel stills camera. It has got a good high resolution mode, so obviously it's going to help me if I want to digitize my film images, just put a macro lens on this and be able to set up to shoot that. Although I have got my Epson V750, I'm not going to be going away from that, but it's just another option should I need it. And also the high resolution mode allows me to take, you know, shots like this, which is looking beautiful, and I might have to get on and take a shot in a minute. And obviously be able to blow that up, crop it, and all the rest of it. Now, randomly enough, and I'm not entirely sure why, but this has a 65 by 24 mode, which I thought was the X-Pan sort of aspect ratio, and for some reason it's turned up on this camera. I'm not entirely sure why, but I quite liked the idea, the fact that it had an X-Pan ratio. You'd have thought that Fuji would be the one with the X-Pan aspect ratio, given the fact that they developed that camera alongside Hasselblad. So you'd have thought that they would have been the ones to put that on their camera, and not Fuji, but not Panasonic. But for whatever reason, Panasonic seems to have done it. So anyway, that's that. The idea really is, like I say, is no way, shape or form is to come away from my film. My film is my first love and my passion, and I said in the beginning of the year the goal was to release a YouTube video every Monday, which is what I've been doing. I've got plenty stacked up there ready to be released on the coming Mondays, so there's no problem there, and that is going to be my focus on my channel. Is always going to be film and not digital. What I have decided is that I'm going to possibly start releasing videos on a Wednesday, which I'll probably call Lumix Wednesday, and it will just be about me coming out of my digital camera and my experiences with it and learning really a digital camera, because it's been a long time since I've properly shot a digital camera, so I'm really getting frustrated with this today. There's certain things that is frustrating the hell out of me today with it, but the more I use it, obviously the more I'm going to get used to it. So but the idea is to release every so often, just chuck in a digital video on a Wednesday, and for you guys that are just deal for the film, then, you know, obviously don't watch on a Wednesday, just wait for the coming Monday, where there will definitely be a film related video. So I've sort of gone with this. I've just sort of come out to play around with it today. I've actually shot some film here. So that video you'll see in a few weeks' time. You'll see this video before that one. It gets very confusing. But anyway, I have shot a video. I've done a video for that, and that's coming out in a few weeks' time. I've done a pano here in using Kodak Gold. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video when it comes out. But I just thought I'd come back here today because I quite like this sort of rolling scene and everything, and I wasn't expecting much from the sunrise today. In fact, the sun is up; it's sort of hiding behind some clouds. So at the moment, so yeah, I do like this scene. Actually, I like the bleakness of it. It's pretty nice, to be fair. So I'm going to get on and just shoot some different modes here, and then I'm going to sort of carry on down there for a walk because it is looking really beautiful this morning. And I do wish that I'd bought my film camera out with me to shoot, but I didn't. I've got this, so it's what it is. The other reason for sort of mixing some digital in to my sort of workflow is just the price of film. I mean, you know, I know a lot of us film photographers who complain about it a lot, and I definitely am one of those that complains about it. But I was looking around online the other day in obviously in the UK to get some Portra and bits and pieces. And I was seeing Portra, a box of 10 4x5 sheets of Portra 160 for 82 quid. I mean, that is ridiculous money. It's absolutely ridiculous money, given the fact that, you know, just the other week I went out and I shot a whole box of Portra, and I literally got the whole box done, and, you know, in 3 days. So that's 80, I mean, to be fair, I actually paid about 78 quid for that box back then. Maybe it was 75, something like that, from Bristol Cameras. They seem to be the cheapest around still at the moment. But when you think that was 70 odd pounds gone in 3 days, I mean it's a lot of money to keep going with film. So you've got to, I'm sort of thinking I'm going to just sort of mix in some digital just to try and keep that cost at a reasonable level, because otherwise I just end up spending all my money on film, which is absolute madness. But it's just, yeah, the price, you know, and then Kodak have said that on the 1st of March, you know, the price is going to be jacked again. And you just think, you know, where is this going to stop, this sort of continual upping of prices? Because obviously Kodak have done it, you know, and the other guys are no doubt going to follow. So it's just going to push me down the being very much more selective when I come to shooting colour 4x5, and perhaps, you know, shooting a bit more black and white 4x5, because that is still, it's expensive, but it's still a reasonable price, because I guess the cost of production is lower. I sort of understand why they're jacking the price. I get that there is an issue with the production of film not exactly being the most environmentally friendly process in the world, and I know that they're looking at ways of producing it cheaper. But still, you know, to be jacking the price that much, it's you know, it's not great for us film photographers. So yeah, so there'll be a mix of stuff really. So there'll be some shooting on this, but I'll keep this to a video every so often on a Wednesday. But every Monday, you know, my goal is, without fail, is to release a video about film. So yeah, so that's sort of where I am, and just introducing the new camera. Like I say, I've only just come out of it this morning. As the sort of time goes on, I'll be giving my feedback as to what I think about this camera. Like I say, it's got some great reviews. Like I say, it's been a long time since I've actually held a proper digital camera in my hands. So yeah, so the plan is to you know, to release a video on a Wednesday about this, or, you know, sporadically on a Wednesday, but keep that Monday videos coming on film really. So yeah, so I think I'm going to get on and take a few shots here, and then I'm going to walk down the road and see what else I can get. So yeah, but like I say, I think it's the clouds supposed to be sort of coming in today, and there's supposed to be some rain and bits and pieces about. So I haven't got long this morning before that sort of turns up. So yeah, let's get on and get some shots done. So I've just taken a few shots there with it, just to sort of, well, you see the sun is actually behind that cloud bank over there. We can just see it coming out now, look, typical. But I've just taken some shots of this behind me. Like I say, there is a video coming out where I've shot some some pano on my film camera for that. So you'll see that in a few weeks' time. I'm just going to sort of move along a little bit, see if I can get a different vantage point of this. And then I'm going to sort of carry on and walk down the road, I think, and see what else we can get. I have got another film camera which hasn't actually taken a shot yet, or I haven't taken a shot of it, I should say. It is a Bessa R2. I've mentioned it in the previous video. I've not done anything with it yet because I've actually haven't got a lens for it yet. So I've ordered a Viewfinder 35 for that that camera, so I'm really looking forward to that turning up and getting out with that. So that'll be some more videos where I use the Panasonic to sort of film, you know, make the video about that camera, and then yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting out and doing some detailed shots, maybe you know, coming into Cranbourne Chase and just, you know, maybe walking around one of the towns within the sort of area of outstanding natural beauty and getting some shots of it. So really looking forward to that. Also be nice to getting back to shooting some 35mm film, and perhaps like I say, just making my money go a little bit further when it comes to actually the film itself. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to shooting that. I'm just looking for another shot down here now. So what I've done with that previous shots there is I've used the X-Pan aspect ratio. I've taken a few shots for that, although I don't really need to because I know I can crop later and all that business. I've taken some high-res shots just to see what they come out like, and I've taken some standard shots just so I can compare and just see what the detail is. Is there, you know, that much of a difference between the high-res mode on this camera and sort of the standard stills mode, especially when it comes to sort of a landscape like this. And yeah, so I'm going to do some comparisons just to see what they come out like, and I will be jotting some of these photos that I'm taking today, although, you know, they're probably not going to be award-winning photos, but I'm certainly liking the atmosphere in these shots. It really does look nice. It's proper sort of atmospheric. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they actually come out like on this camera. As you can see, I've actually invested in a peak design clip as well, just to keep the camera there. That's more so, again, when I'm videoing, I could just literally take the camera out, do the video, put it back there, so I'm going to keep putting the bag down and taking it off and all this, that and the other. And like I say, slowly doing away with the reliance on the phone. So that's the name of the game with this. So yeah, so I'm going to probably just move a little bit further. I have got these telegraph poles in the shot. I'm not sure whether I'm going to leave them there or take them out in Lightroom. I'll have a look later on, but yeah, I'm just moving along to see what else I can get down here. So probably just going to go a few more meters sort of that way, and hopefully something else will just present itself. But the sun is threatening to come out. It's sort of, there's a lot of cloud rolling in. I'll just whiz around so you can see there's a lot of cloud rolling in. It is behind there. I don't think it's going to come out fully, but like I say, it's supposed to rain a bit later on. So it's only going to get worse, I think, cloud cover. But certainly, in terms of atmosphere, yeah, that's beautiful. But just a bit more light on the scene would be amazing. But yeah, we'll get set up down here then. Okay, so like I said, I've just moved along a bit, probably about 20 meters to be fair, just to sort of position these telegraph poles slightly differently. And we are, well, I'm just sort of waiting for light at the moment, really. I can see there is sort of a bit more over there, but there isn't obviously any in my foreground. It keeps sort of threatening to come out, and then it disappears again behind the clouds. So I'm not entirely hopeful here that I'm going to get much light, but I am just taking some shots. So I'm trying a few different things on the camera. Like I say, at the moment I've got the set the timer on, 2-second timer, just to sort of take the shot and make sure that it's as still as possible. I've turned all the image stabilization off, shooting in manual mode. I'm at f11, and I've got the 24-60 kit lens that the camera came with. I will be sort of investing in some primes sort of over the course of the year, I suppose. Looking at the Sigma ones because they look pretty good, to be fair, because obviously this camera is a part of the L-mount Alliance, so I've got access to Panasonic's native lenses. I've got Sigma, and I've got obviously Leica, but pockets aren't deep enough for Leica glass, unfortunately. I would love to get some Leica stuff, but it's a bit out of my budget range at this very moment in time. I've got other things that I want to invest in, I suppose. So I'm currently at probably about 23 mil at the moment, and like I say, I'm just waiting for some light, really. So I was shooting at about a third underexposed, just to get the light in. It has got bracketing mode on this. I have been playing with bracketing mode also. So yeah, just trying some different things, just seeing what these images come out like. There's plenty online about this camera in terms of video and what it can do and all that sort of thing. So I have been shooting some video on it as well, but today I'm just, you know, yes, I'm playing with video, yes, I'm doing some video, and hopefully there will be some clips in amongst this that you'll see that have been taken on this video wise. So I am shooting the open gate 6K mode, so I can crop it down later. But for now, I'm just concentrating on still. So like I say, I'm manually focusing. I'm using one of these poles here because everything else behind it is sort of mist. I'm using the poles in the foreground to get my focus, and then I'm not really too fussed about the background. Like I say, I'm shooting at f11, but I'm not too fussed about the background because it's all mist anyway, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be absolutely pin sharp focus right away back there because, you know, say it's misty. So and I am liking that sort of separation. I just wish there was just a bit more light, really, just to make this scene a bit more pleasing. But yeah, for now I'm just going to get on and take some more shots. So so 2-second timer there, very simple shot. If I then turn it on the top dial on this side, there is a dial for the like high res mode, so I'm going to shoot that now. I've got this set up for a 2-second timer, so what happens is you press the shutter, wait 2 seconds, and then it'll do its exposure. I think it takes 8 images by moving the sensor ever so slightly and taking another image. And then again, another reason why I went for this camera over the Fuji was if I'm going to use high res mode, I want to know that it's going to work. They obviously, Panasonic and Olympus, to be fair, they've been doing high res modes in their cameras for quite a while, and they've got very good at it. So the AI now can pick out movement and stuff like that, although I'm only going to really use high res shot in this sort of thing where there isn't anything moving in this scene. It's you know, apart from the sky, the clouds in the sky, but everything else is completely still. So there's nothing to sort of fool the AI and give you that strange artifacting of you know, people moving in the shots. In the early sort of iterations of this technology, if you were to use it and say someone walked across your photo, you would get this strange sort of you know, effect where you get like a blurred person in your shot. So I'm very much going to be selective where I use it. Like I say, it will be scenes like this where there's not really anything moving. And also, like I say, if I'm going to digitize my film images, then obviously I can get a high res shot out of this, and that's in a still environment anyway, so that's not going to have an effect. So with the Fuji setup though, because they are, I know they've been doing it in their medium format cameras, and I'm not quite sure if it's any good in that or not, but they've just introduced it in the X-T5 and the XH2. But what I've seen online from people who have used it is they said that It doesn't merge the image in camera, which is hugely frustrating. And also, so what you end up with is a load of shots that you have to then put into Fuji's software on your computer, and then you would merge them together using their software. But a lot of people are saying that 9 times out of 10 that they actually get an error when they merge it. If there's any slight movement and it can't align the images, it just put an error out, and then you can't blend them together. And I don't need that hassle. I don't need that extra step. I want the camera to do as much work for me as possible. So blending them in the camera itself and having a fairly high success rate when it does that is what I want. I don't want the hassle of having to take it home, open some more software up, blend it together. Fingers crossed then that it actually works, and then if it doesn't work, I'm frustrated because I've just got a wasted shot. So I just thought, maybe if that system was a bit more advanced, then I probably would be stood here with a Fuji right now, because I have shot Fuji before and I do really like their colours and I really like their system. It's nice and light, so I do like that, you know, what Fuji do. But like I say, it was that fact that I was actually after sort of full frame as well, ideally, that I've ended up with this. So yeah, so let's get on and take another one. So I'm in high res mode again. So you should be able to hear it do its thing in a minute. There you go. So that's it doing its thing, and then you get a create in high res image, and it takes a few seconds, and that's it done. It's as easy as that. It's already created it. When you view it on the playback, it's the actual image. It's already merged. It's already done. And yeah, I think that's a great bit of kit. Like I say, you're not going to use it everywhere, but certainly for us landscape photographers, it's a handy thing to have. You know, I know some people will stick their nose up at Olympus and Micro Four Thirds, and even Panasonic with their Micro Four Thirds cameras. I've had Olympus before. I had the Olympus OM1 Mark III, and it was a great bit of kit. I'm going to be honest. It was light. The actual glass you can buy for it is fairly cheap. It's small. The pro lenses they do are so sharp. They're just beautiful bits of glass. And you know, to think that if you're doing a long hike and stuff like that, or you know, some sort of adventure photography, you know, hiking, doing all that sort of stuff, they were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant bit of kit, and I can't fault them at all. And that, just having that high res mode as well, did make a big difference in your images. So so yeah, I did toy with the idea of getting a Micro Four Thirds camera again, but I just thought, no, I'm going to stick with you know, my goal, which was to get a more video centric camera than a stills camera. But like I say, this I am looking forward to getting home and actually viewing these on the computer, because I'm sure this thing will take amazing shots. So, and we'll see later. Okay, so just wandering along. As you can see, the sun is a lot more out now than it was before, and I was just shooting just down there. Yeah, but it's a beautiful morning. So it was supposed to be especially raining a bit later, but for now it's beautiful. It does look like it's sort of clearing up, because if you look over here, see there's a bit more blue sky there, but when you look over there and all that mist and fog. Now, I was debating going to a forest this morning, but I didn't, because I was driving along and there wasn't any mist or fog really, just maybe a hint of it in the air, I suppose, when you looked at the street lights, but nothing to sort of write home about. And then even when I got here this morning, it was a bit more grey than it was anything else. So I think that mist has sort of rolled in a bit, I think. But yeah, I was just sort of milling along here just to see if there's anything else we can get really. We're testing out the sort of Lumix. So yeah, pleased with it so far. I've been trying some different video angles and practicing my stupid duck walk and all that business that you're supposed to do, keep a steady shot. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get on with this camera and that it's going to be here for a long time, and I'm not going to get frustrated with it and end up selling it, which I've been known to do in the past when I've got frustrated with cameras. But yeah, it's just it's lovely, and it's just sort of a nice easy day to be out with something like this, to test out what we got, because although, like I say, the scene I was shooting a minute ago is beautiful, I'm not entirely sure that there's an amazing shot there, but you never know, there might be. So it's just, in my head anyway, it's a good day to be out testing a new camera. Yeah, so when I do get somewhere where there's an amazing shot to be had, fleeting light, only lasting a few seconds, I know exactly what settings I need to be on. I can get to it quick. I know the menus. I have customized it to set it up to how I think I want it, using custom buttons and bits and pieces, but I might change them as I sort of get more used to the camera, so that, like I say, I can get access to them easy, get the shot I want and not miss the shot, because that's the most important thing. It's pretty useless if I end up missing a shot with a camera because I'm not used to it. So yeah, anyway, we should carry on walking, see what else we can come across. Hoping that the audio isn't horrendous, because my mic's actually gone out of battery, which is annoying. Of course, wind's picked up at the same time, but I'm back at the same location. Just had to pop back to my car for a bit, now I'm back out again. I just got back at the same location, and I'm going to turn it round because I think as soon as I do, the wind's going to be even worse. I'll just show you the landscape behind me. Basically, I'm just handheld, haven't got my tripod with me. I'm just going to go for a walk, handheld, and get some shots. There's some dappled light now on the area that I was shooting earlier, so I'm just going to spin round and show you what I'm shooting. So there it is. As you can see, hopefully you can still hear me. You can see the dappled light on the landscape. You can actually see up on the horizon there, you'll be able to see some, I think it's a glider club up there, I think, so that's what they are. But yeah, just enjoying this sort of this dappled light, just making its way across the landscape. It's a real nice shot. So I'm just shooting this in the X-Pan aspect ratio. Obviously I can't do high res mode because I haven't got my tripod. That needs to be done on a tripod. So just taking normal shots. I'm sort of a third of a stop underexposed, 2/3 underexposed at the moment, just because I like the darker landscape, and just making sure that I keep the sky, you know, don't blow the highlights out basically. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so I'm just enjoying this shooting, and I'm going to carry on walking down there and see what else we can get as we walk further around. So yeah, we'll get on and take some couple more shots here and get on. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that little video. Certainly it was a sort of video not about a great deal, other than me buying camera, and again just coming up to camera chase. I have been up here before. Like I say, you haven't seen the video yet because that's coming out in a couple of weeks time, because I've got some queued up on a Monday. I've shot some film out here. I've got some really nice images which I'm really happy with, so I just need to finish off the editing of that, and that video will be out. But today the main focus was to just try out the Lumix S5 Mark II. I'm not expecting to get any award-winning images today. It was literally just to come out, use the trial the settings. I've taken a load of B-roll with this also, which will be scattered about this. Just test out the image stabilization and you know, just the image, what I actually have to do with the image once I get it into Final Cut or Premiere or whatever, to then grade that log footage. So I've got a bit, like I say, it's a learning curve for me. I just wanted to come out and try it out. It's not going to turn into a dedicated digital channel, so please don't worry about that. But what I will do is every so often on a Wednesday I'll drop a video just about me going out with my Lumix S5 Mark II and just the experiences I'm having with it. And in that, obviously, I'll do the usual thing where the images I take I'll put up on screen so you can see them. You can see what sort of results I'm getting out of this camera. And yeah, so it's just today, which is more of a getting out with it and giving it a go. I mean, it is beautiful light. The sky is just acting like a bit of a soft box for the sun, so there's nice dappled light, diffused light on the landscape, which is really beautiful. I would make some good film images, I'm going to be honest, but like I say, today I'm just about trialing this. So anyway, if you like the video, please leave a like. If you like the channel, then please subscribe. It helps me out massively, and I really do appreciate it. Leave a comment. I always read them and I always get back to people, and I really appreciate when people do leave comments on my videos. So yeah, I shall see you guys in the next one. Enjoy.